Welcome everybody to the pre-show you're seeing before we start the stream here. And let's kick off the stream as well. Welcome. So, we're in Tokyo still. I'm in Shinjuku area, and we're gonna go to a place that you guys might recognize from other streams that I've done. We're gonna go to MENYA Musashi. So, if I can figure out which direction I'm going. Google Maps is always messed up where it's like the direction that it says you're going is not the direction that the arrow is pointing, or not the direction you're actually going, rather. So it's a little confusing for me sometimes. I think I got it though. But yeah, we're going to MENYA Musashi, which is the ramen place that... There's several interesting points about this. So number one, you guys will recognize MENYA Musashi if you've seen some of my other streams, because there was one in LA 3 years ago right before I went to Tokyo last time. I did a stream from MENYA Musashi, and then it closed down in LA, unfortunately, but they had one in Seattle, and I did a stream from the Seattle one. And so it's appeared on this channel in more ways than one, but obviously, you know, it's a Japanese business and they have locations in Tokyo. So I'm actually going to go there. And what's even more interesting is that my brother is currently in Seattle and just went to MENYA Musashi. So I'm almost doing like a across the globe synchronized meal eating with him. We're not gonna like remote call in to him or anything, but you know, he ate at, it was like morning for me in Tokyo before it would have been open here, but pretty darn close. So I think that's a fun thing to do. And of course I just love MENYA Musashi in general, so I'm excited to see what it's like here. The interesting thing is that I've looked, you know, I was like searching it on Google Maps, and they have, so there's multiple locations, but each location has its own like sort of like specific name, I guess. Like there was one that was called like The Book of the Five Rings, which is like the book that Musashi Miyamoto wrote. There was one that was called like, damn, I can't remember, but they were all named after like different Musashi Miyamoto sort of things, which is cool. I'm curious if like the different locations have different special items or whatever. I tried to check on Google Maps because I was like, well, which one is like MENYA Musashi, or have just, is it kind of like opening a place in New York City that says like, you know, like Katz's, or not Katz's Deli, like, you know, John's restaurant or whatever, you know, like anybody can open a place with that name. You know, a place in New York that says like best coffee in New York or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, no. But I think I looked on Google Maps and it had the same design on the bowl that they have in LA. So, and all of the ones I looked at had that. So I think they're all part of the same, you know, overarching company, but they're just all individualized locations. Okay, so I'm going this way. We're gonna cross the main thoroughfare. We're going through sort of the Koreatown area, which has a lot of great restaurants, it looks like. There's a chicken place that I keep seeing that I want to try. I think we passed it. But yeah, I passed through this area yesterday twice, actually, when I was going first to the spicy ramen place that I showed on my Instagram story. And then the second time, because I always get like sick after I go to that place. Like, it's so good, but it's so spicy that even for me, and that's, you know, how I am, that's saying something, that I get like, I just have to lay down. Like, it's just like a very simple, like, I cannot function for 2 hours. I had to lay down in the middle of the day and just sort of wait it out. I was like sweating too, like it was as if I was in like extreme heat, but it wasn't even hot outside. So I did that, and then I walked right back to the same area, in this same direction, right down this street actually, to go to another, like a little soba place that was really fun. Oops, you know. This Korean pancake concept, I've had that before in the US, but I'd like to try it here. Oh, see what I'm saying? Nice outside. It's like, I like the sort of, it's not direct sunlight type of weather. Good for filming. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna have to turn for a little bit. I can stop checking Google Maps. Yesterday, we did a really fun stream from Golden Guy, and we found that bar that we walked into, which was awesome. Unfortunately, there's no local record for that one, so there wasn't really any stream issues. So the live broadcast is what's going to be on YouTube, which is fine. But I accidentally hit, what I noticed was that when, for anybody who saw that stream, when I like pointed the camera down to talk to the lady about letting me in with the camera, Yuko was her name, by the way, very nice. When I pointed it down, I must have accidentally hit the record button and stopped the recording. So that was a rookie mistake. Hopefully we'll try to avoid making that one in the future. But yeah, that bar, I ended up, after the stream, I shut off my camera, started talking to the other guy who was in there. During the show, I didn't really want to interact with like other people at the bar, because I was like, well, it might make people sort of uncomfortable, of like, oh, is he trying to get me to like be on his show or whatever. But after the show, I started talking to the other people there, and like the night kept going, and that stream was at like 8 p.m. but I ended up staying at that same bar until 3 a.m. when they were like closing. It was just a great time. Really, really very nice, good people. And I was happy that my like Japanese got me, like that's a pretty big milestone for me, of like not only being able to sustain a conversation in the language, but being able to sustain a conversation for, how many hours is that? 8 hours straight in Japanese. Like, I'm really proud of that. I've never done anything so substantial. Oh, welcome, IDJ. You're in Japan? How long? I'm here for another 3 days. It's like sort of a 1 week trip that I just jumped on at the last possible second when they announced the borders were opening. I'm so glad I did too, because I'm able to, sort of like get in some real practice with the language, and talk to people and have like very authentic. I've never done a solo trip to Japan, so it's like a totally different type of thing where it's just like I'm getting by on my own wits of like speaking, and it's been really awesome. And then it's also sort of before the tourist rush of everybody else who plans to buy a ticket. So, you know, I kind of got in here while like places are still a little bit sleepy, and you can walk into a bar that might have nobody in it or might have like one person in it. But I'm guessing that like next year it'll be, you know, packed to the gills with gaijin, which, you know, that's no problem. But for this kind of trip where I want to be able to like go to a little bar and just like have a conversation with the owner or with the other patrons, like it's a little easier to do that when it's not so crowded. How are you doing, IGJTV? Oh, Black Nar the Destroyer, welcome. Oh, Andy Milanakis is in Tokyo. He's always going to Tokyo, right? Or does... I've seen a lot of his stuff from there. I love that he enjoys Japan. Good stuff. Yeah, I've been having a great time. Oh man, I'm already sort of thinking about like whenever my next excursion would be. But yeah, like anybody who's thinking about it, like go to Japan now, because the prices are so low. Number one, the yen is very weak right now because they've had their borders shut to all tourism for the last 3 years. So you can, everything you buy here, you can get really cheap. But plane tickets are the lowest I've ever seen by like an order of magnitude. I paid an insanely low price for my hotel. I mean, it's kind of like now is the time to get in on going to Tokyo. I was saying I want to go solo in spring. How has it been solo? Great. I mean, I am lucky to have been able to practice my solo travel abilities in when I was in Greece for that set of streams, and you know, I kind of got used to like how to conduct myself solo and like how to be a better traveler, if that makes sense. Because when you're with a group, it doesn't really matter if you kind of like do a no-no, you know, it's like a little bit less of a situation because you're just like, oh, you and your group go like, oh, that was weird, and then you like walk away. But when you're by yourself, it's a little bit more like, okay, I don't want to like, you know, be a jerk or whatever. I don't want to like accidentally offend somebody. And of course, you know, having been here to Tokyo a few times already, that has helped me, and being able to speak the language has helped me, which I've never really been able to do that well on previous trips. So yeah, it's been great for me. I really think that there's a different character to a solo trip than there is when you're with a group. Because like, number one, you're only doing the things you want to do, which is, you know, that's not to say it's no good to do what other people want to do also, but it is certainly a different experience, and it allows you to do a lot of things that like a group might not ever agree on, you know, where it's like, oh, I think this museum is cool, but like you don't have to like convince 2 other people or 3 other people like, hey guys, you know, let's actually do this thing, or let's stay at this place longer or whatever. It's just like you do that if you want to do it. So I think that's awesome. And then being able to like, sort of, like there's something about like being by yourself that makes, like I'm not really a, you know, sort of like striking up conversations with everyone around me type person in the US. But if I'm on a solo trip, like it allows me to sort of like just meet people, you know, like just like, oh, like, hey, what do you do? You know, like just like strike up conversations or whatever. I guess because you're just by yourself on the trip, there's kind of like it's almost like an impetus that it puts on you to be more social. And when you're in a group traveling, you know, at least in my experience, it's very often that me and my friends would just end up talking to each other a lot and possibly miss out on a lot of like, you know, like striking up a conversation with a random person at the bar because we were just talking to ourselves about some, you know, joke that we thought was funny or something. So yeah, I love solo travel now, and especially in Tokyo, where it's like I'm able to just kind of take it easy and explore at my pace and talk to people. Black Nard the Destroyer saying he's at Nakano Broadway. Okay. I haven't been over there. But it's funny because Tokyo, like every area has such a different character to it. You know, so it's like it's really exciting to see that. It's kind of like in New York, where it's like every borough has like its own very particular thing. All right, we're now trying to find the place I want to go to, but I'm not sure exactly where it is, so let's take a look. IDJ saying, how long would you say it took you to be comfortable speaking? You've been studying for less than 2 years, but your speaking is meh. To be comfortable speaking, I don't know. Would I say that I'm still comfortable speaking? I don't know. You know, because it's not like I just like breeze through any conversation now. You know, there are still things that I won't understand or have to ask somebody to clarify. I don't know. It's a matter of forcing yourself to continuously be uncomfortable. Which is to say, just like for me, it was like making myself go. I do a thing where I meet with a person in Japan to have a conversation with them every single week from my home in America. And I also live in LA, so I go to like Japanese parts of town, and anytime I eat at a Japanese restaurant, I always you know, talk to them in Japanese or whatever, and I would make a fool of myself a lot. And you know, slowly over time, I would kind of like learn how to say stuff and, you know, get a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know how long. I would be talking to people probably like 2.5 years in, I guess. But that was like where I was like forcing myself all the time before that, you know. So yeah, it's different for everybody. Everybody has their own kind of, you know, set of specialties and everything. So this is MENYA Musashi, the place that I'm looking for. And here's the thing, I don't know if they let you come in with a, you know, live stream video camera. And as always with my Tokyo trip or any trip that I'm going on, I'm not gonna like cause a scene or like ask them to make an exception for me. So if they don't want me to film, we're gonna end the show, sort of no questions asked. But we'll see. We'll try to ask them about it. Yesterday, the lady originally, Yuko, said no at the bar, or was getting ready to say no, and I explained to her like, oh, you know, just so you know, like I would only point the camera at my face. I'll sit in this corner here, and then she called the bar owner, and they let me do it. So, you know, you never know. It's free to ask, right? So I'm gonna point the camera down here. Hopefully I won't press the turn off camera button like last time. Okay, so nobody's serving, I guess, so I don't know that they're really gonna have a problem. We'll leave it on. Let's do, I don't really know which would be like kind of the one to do. I guess just regular scanner, MENYA. Oh wait, did they have a recommended one? Oh, this is the most popular one. Let's do that. Oh, you can choose your sizes. Okay. Maybe medium size. このネギそれ大丈夫。They use cash and coins in Japan a lot, which is very limited time stuff here. I wanted to get some other stuff, but maybe I have to do them all separately. Let's do it again. We'll do a skim in. This one. Do medium. I have a hard time with handwritten fonts. Side menu. So do they not have just like regular rice or anything like that? Hatoranda. Oh, here. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, it's like I hate having to carry coins around because it's like it takes forever to use them. Oh, jeez. Like that. This is how you order ramen at a lot of places in Japan, at a vending machine. And you're essentially just getting tickets that you give to the people making the ramen. I was explaining in a different episode that it's basically like a means of not having to have a server because these types of places are so small that they don't. ありがとうございます。これ大丈夫ですか？カメラだけど、ラーメンだけポイントします。大丈夫ですか？
あ、カメラで撮りますか？大丈夫でしょ？
ありがとうございます。
ラーメンのあれが撮りたいんですか？違います。さっきビール出します。
あ、ビールとラーメンお願いします。
はい、お先ビール出します。さっきは。あ、オッケーです。ありがとうございます。お先失礼しました。ハートランド出しました。
ハートランド。I don't understand that word that you were saying. Sake. It wasn't sake. A debit machine. That's rare. I'm not sure what you mean, IDJ. But yeah, those kinds of machines are definitely pretty. Those are like the main way of doing their stuff. Kore, アメリカにはメニャムサシの店もある？
はい。
これ同じ会社ですか？
同じ会社ですよね。
うん。
同じ会社です。
そして日本にはいろんなメニャムサシが、
いろんなところにあります。
だけど全部が違うのテーマがありますか？いつも違うの名前がある。
そうです。
メニューの。
はい。店舗のお店の名前が全然こう違います。
そうですか。
こちらが本店です。
ああ、全部が食べてみます。
ああ、こちら今日初めてですか？
日本の初めての、メニャムサシの行ったこと。
初めて。アメリカでよく行ってます。
そう、ロサンゼルスの店、よく行きました。
ありがとうございます。ここは初めてです。ここはファーストタイム。
日本にはそれとも、この店。
初めては日本の初めてはこちらのお店です。
そう。
はい、いろいろところにありますので行ってください。
Oh, I love that shit. Wow. I don't want to point the camera at the. Well, maybe I can point the camera. Not at all. She was saying basically that not only do they have different names and themes for their restaurants, like we were talking about, but they also have different food. The menu is different. That's really cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try every single menu, I guess. Let's do this.
1名様がそうです。あとも1名様1名様。
すみません。そのシャツは買えますか？
聞いてみますね。少々お待ちください。このシャツですか？
ありがとうございます。I don't know if you can see it on the thing, but it's a Musashi Miyamoto battle scene. I like this chilled metal glass. It's like a Moscow Mule. I love this. The one in the US is a lot more American style, where it's like, as you can possibly see, I don't know if you can see, but like, it's only a counter here where you're eating the ramen. It's not, there's no tables or like any like specialized areas. So it's definitely like more, you know, they probably understood like, oh, Americans don't really have this type of like bar only ramen shop, so we're gonna make it a little bit larger. I'm excited. This is literally in Los Angeles was my favorite ramen place that we had, and it unfortunately shut down over there. So of course you gotta go get it over here. So I guess I'm on a trip or I have an objective maybe to go to every MENYA MUSASHI in the world. I love these pieces of art here. Wooden. I didn't check This one is called the sword something. MENYA. Let's see what this one's called here. Yeah, it's really hard for me to read that like handwritten Japanese font. It looks like it says a sword, beginning of the sword. Let's see. Put it in Google Translate here. Oh, the founding. Is this the original? Well, that's pretty interesting if that's true. How do you pronounce this word for founding? So it should be a wide enough wide-angle lens that you can see the food, hopefully. But this is really good ramen. I love their like stamped stuff. それ辛いですか？
少しです。少し辛いです。で美味しいです。
そんな、アメリカの同じですね。そんな辛いの何ですか？何の野菜かそう。
これがいろいろ調味料入ってますね。少し辛いです。美味しいです。
It's like a spicy cereal. That stuff. I love it. All right, time to eat some So what was this word before we start here? Sushi. Sushi. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. So this type of ramen is called skinny. It's essentially an American would call it like a deconstructed ramen, basically, and it ensures that the noodles do not get soggy in the broth. It's in my opinion the best way to eat ramen. Sorry if you can't see anything when I'm taking a bite. But the shop is so small that I can't really put the camera, on the table. This is really damn good. This might actually be better than it was in the US.
2名様、1名様ご来店です。
Tissue. I think it's a tissue. crap. That pork is freaking good. I think this is I hate to say it. I might be making my brother jealous who's at the Seattle one, but I think this is better than the American version. Man, that meat is like so flavorful. All right. Not that we wouldn't have anyway, but I'm gonna have to make sure that next time I'm here with my brother that we go to this one and possibly to multiple MENYA restaurants. Man, I am very impressed. Sort of running out of soup here. I have more noodles than soup. The thing we always loved about MENYA Musashi is that their noodles, the quality of their noodles is like really high. They're very, you can see that they're thick, but they have like a lot of kind of density to them and like a particular kind of like mouthfeel, I guess. Like it's like a springiness almost. In Japan, they don't really use napkins very often, which is kind of hard for me to adjust to. They'll have tissues at a table, especially at spicy ramen places, because your nose is going to start running. But it's like, you know, in the US, I'm used to being able to use a napkin, you know, whenever I take a bite of food, or especially with ramen, where it's like, you know, if it like kind of splashes onto your face a little bit when you're slurping it. So yeah, it's kind of hard to adjust to. That's one thing that's, yeah, not a big deal, but it's a difference, cultural difference. exactly this place is.
はいどうぞ。2名様どうぞ。どうぞ。
It's a big beer.
お待たせいたしました。濃厚厚玉つけ麺並盛りのお客様。失礼いたします。ゆっくりどうぞ。お待たせいたしました。濃厚厚玉つけ麺2倍盛りでございます。お手元まで失礼いたします。ごゆっくりどうぞ。
Oh, welcome Crossferry. Finally caught a stream. You've been away for 24 hours. Wow, that's intense. Stay safe, Frost. Enjoy a coffee or an energy drink. その、シャツの買うほど。
また次来ますか？また次も来ますか？ここ来ないんですか？
ない。
来ない
けど、
今日だけで。
そうけど
後で帰るか？それとも。
失礼いたしました。濃厚厚玉つけ麺並盛りのお客様。お手元まで失礼いたします。ごゆっくりどうぞ。
ない？
お待たせいたしました。半沢厚玉つけ麺です。ごゆっくりどうぞ。
あちらのお客様、2名様でしょうか？
We're trying to find out if we can buy the shirt that they have.
売ってはないんですよね。
ないですか？
はい。
ああ、分かった。だけどかっこいいシャツだね。それ、スタッフシャツだけですか？スタッフシャツですか？
そうです。
ああ、分かった。
はい。申し訳ないです。
これすぐ買えない？
That was great. Yeah, they said that it was a staff shirt that you can't buy it. It would have been nice. But cool. So let's go walk around Shinjuku then. I would like to go back towards this sort of city center So let's do that. I was saying, I'm at home. It has been a very long day. Well, glad to see you here, though. I'm glad that your day is, winding down then, if it has been a tough one. Let's see, what do we kind of navigate towards? Don Quixote? No, you can't do that because navigate towards Robot Restaurant. Oh wow, it's pretty close. We go left. So that was MENYA. You know what? I forgot to ask the lady that question that we were going to ask. Well, we'll do it next time when I come back when my brother's in town. But I think that was saying then it's like the first MENYA restaurant, or MENYA MUSASHI restaurant, rather. We always call it MENYA in in the U.S. But it really MENYA just means MENYA means ramen shop, so that could be any ramen shop. Frost saying you started with a concert, fall and craft festival, and went to a hockey game. Oh, okay, so it wasn't like a work thing. Well, that's pretty cool then. I thought you were saying that you were like working like extreme overtime or something. Well, that's awesome, Frost. Oh, Moss Burger. Mosu Burger. That's like the Japanese burger chain. I can't eat anything now, but I like was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. I really like Moss Burger. It's very good. But for another time. Yeah, as much as I keep saying I don't want to just be eating ramen, like I keep just eating ramen. It's filling me up every time. Frosting, I can't wait to sleep in tomorrow. Yeah, I know how you feel. Yeah, last night was after our stream, we were doing a stream from Golden Guy, which is kind of like the bar hopping area of Shinjuku, and I ended up not bar hopping, but staying in the same bar until like 3 a.m. And I was definitely like, okay, I'm gonna sleep in now. I'm not gonna try and like wake up at 8 o'clock a.m. like I always do. Because like when I'm on vacation, I try to wake up early, seize the day and all that. But sometimes you gotta give yourself a minute. Pachisro. Oh, let's see about Metal Gear. Metal Gear Pachisro がありますか？
メタルギア
メタルギア
ない
ないですか？聞いたことがありますか？そんなパチスローとマシン。
メタルギアソリッドってのはああ、ないですね。
ないですか？
もともとない。
そうですか。わかった。ありがとうございます。Yeah, this is a pachinko parlor, Patislav parlor though. It's the loudest singular place you'll probably ever be. I'm sure the stream can't really do it justice, even however loud that sounded on the stream. Imagine it just blowing out your ears as soon as you walk in. They have some kind of like crazy soundproof doors, so that the second the door opens, it's like a Phil Spector wall of sound that's just smashing into you. It's very overwhelming. But it's basically like a gambling hall. It looks like, you know, arcade machines, but they're really like closer to slot machines. But every time I go to Japan, I always try to ask them if they have the Metal Gear patchy slot machine. But nobody seems to have heard of it anymore. Not only do they say that they don't have it, but they never have even heard of it. Which maybe I'm communicating it wrong. Like, I'm just asking them, do you have the Metal Gear patchy slot? And the people will know. Like, the guy was like, oh, you're talking about Metal Gear Solid? And I was like, yeah. But he's like, no, we don't have that. And I was like, kind of the way he said it, I was like, have you ever heard of this machine before? And he's like, no, I've never heard of that. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just out of vogue. But it's, you know, for as much as, obviously for Metal Gear fans, the patchy slot machine is a pretty dark moment in Metal Gear history. But it's actually a really good patchy slot game. So for better or worse, I still seek it out. Oh man, I'm so full now. Oh, there's another patchy slot parlor. Let's look it up on Google. Maybe somebody has like information on where you can play it. Where to play Shinjuku. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Okay, Playgraph. Hold on. We might have it here, ladies and gents. Metal Gear Solid, they call it. So this is where? Or is this just a company that makes patchy slot? Yeah, this is just a... So it still exists. It looks like it's from 2016 though, so it's probably like outmoded or whatever. Like, yeah, it's from July of 2016. So the reason nobody's heard of it anymore is probably because it's like they never buy them for their, you know, patchy slot parlors anymore. Because there's like newer machines that you can get. The new big like ticket item or whatever is that there's a Resident Evil 2 remake patchy slot machine, which looks really cool. I just don't really know anything about Resident Evil. So it would be kind of lost on me, but I would still play it. The thing is, you're just pumping money into a pit when you do that. It's like playing a slot machine. Like, you're not gonna win, or you can't expect to win at least. But I did the Metal Gear one because it's like, you know, I just want to pay to see all the cool cutscenes. But with Resident Evil, it's like, well, you know, I'm not like interested enough to like waste my money on it. But maybe I'll do it anyway. Crossing, you're having fun, relax and sleep in. I'd be shopping all day. Yeah, you know, I haven't really done any shopping. We bought one capsule toy on stream, which was a rabbit using a human-sized toilet. I thought that was a fun, you know how I am with the capsule toys, but I like all the strangest ones that I can find. But other than that, I bought a shirt at a bar that I like, and That's it, I think. With two souvenirs, purchases so far. Otherwise, it's all just food and drink and regular stuff. I don't really know where I'm going, but let's look around. Oh, they still have Grand Cyber Cafe. Grand Cyber Cafe is, these are like net cafes, which are different than what you would think of as an internet cafe in the US. In Japan, a net cafe is where you are renting a little booth where they have a computer that's like loaded up with, MMOs and stuff. You can play the games, you can use the internet, you can read manga that they have in this like library. And the really beneficial part of it is that it is 24 hours, open 24 hours. So if you're out really late at night and you can't get on a train back to wherever you're going, you can actually just get a booth at a internet cafe for like, $20 or $30 and just sleep in. It's like a nice, sort of padded chair that they give you. I don't know what's going on here. For anybody who remembers the Yakuza streams, game streams, this is where a lot of the battles would be. When you there would be those like fights or whatever. I don't know what's happening in that area. There's like all dirty and there's it's not like picnics. Like people are just like, I don't know what's going on. It looks like they threw trash on the ground. It's very uncommon for Tokyo. It's usually very clean. As you can see here, the street is like immaculate. Let's go up here. Browsing, it's a dream of mine to go to Japan. Oh, and watching you is close enough for me. Well, thank you. I'm honored to be your eyes and ears. Oh, we're going straight into an arcade, aren't we? Yes. Okay. So you guys remember my thing about how I don't really like to film at the arcades because it's kind of frowned upon in Japan, so I'm not going to do that. But they do have this game, Dance Rush Stardom, which for anybody who's never seen it, again, I'm not going to film it here, but I might post a thing to Instagram if there's a good person. But look up on the internet, Dance Rush Stardom players, like people playing the machine. It's basically the new version of Dance Dance Revolution, which they never brought to the US. The DDR guys made another game where it's like tracking your feet instead of just like using the 4 up, down, left, and right buttons. So it's like the way that you dance in that game is like very sort of involved. And yeah, it's like really crazy to watch a very skilled person play Dance Rush Stardom. Yeah, they don't have the game that I want to play though. So let's basically turn this into a Nick is looking for an arcade that has the game he wants stream. But then once I find it, I am going to end the show because in Japan, it's like, we were saying it on another show, so sorry for anybody who saw that one, but I'll explain it again that like, it's sort of an unwritten rule that you're really not supposed to film anything in an arcade. Like they don't even really like for you to take pictures. So I like to try and honor the rules whenever I can. I don't want to just be one of those people who's like, let me see if I can sneak a camera into here or there. Like, I want to be a part of I want to go with the flow. I don't want to like be like pushing against the current, if that makes sense. Crossing your tour guide, there you go. That could be a new profession for me. I'll be like a tour guide, Japanese tour guide. So let's see, usually they have a little menu of like, oh wait, there's an escalator. Usually there's like a menu of like which games they have probably on the second floor. The first floor of arcades is almost always claw grabber machines, which is cool if you like claw grabber machines, but I don't really. And a lot of arcades also have, yeah, you can see here, it's like a photo studio thing, really involved ones, like way more than the kind of like booths that they have in the US. Damn, they don't have a menu. Yeah, they don't have one. Maybe they have it downstairs. But the one we're looking for is called Kankore, which is a Kankore arcade, which I guess the game exists on Android, I think. But I don't have an Android, I have an iPhone. But this is like an arcade version, and it's that game where you control the schoolgirls who are actually anthropomorphized battleships. And it's I just find it so fascinating, and it's really fun. So I have a in Japan, the way that you do arcade games is that you get like it's sort of like a Dave & Buster's card type thing, but you basically just buy a card for $3. You don't load it with money like you do at Dave & Buster's, but it's like you buy the card, and then when you're playing arcade games, you're scanning the card before you go in, because that is saving your progress into the card, and you bring that to any arcade and you'll have your saved progress there, which is a great idea. Yeah, it's like in Japan they just have a lot of really good ideas for arcade games that the US never adopted. I guess I'll go into that arcade then and see if I can find that game I'm looking for. Oh, Frost saying you're very good at claw machines? Oh, Japan might be a challenge for you, or a new challenge if you're a good claw machine person, because I can't get anything in these claw machines. If you look up some of like the Japanese claw machines, they're very, some of them are normal, not wrong word to use, but like some of them are similar to American ones, but a lot of them are like very, kind of like, it'll be like a single toy where you're trying to like push it off of like a little pole, so it falls down into the thing, and it'll be like, it takes you like 100 tries to do it, like it's really hard. Yeah, so I think you'll find a good challenge here if you like claw machines. But ladies and gents, let's call that a show. I'm gonna go into this arcade now, and I'll see if I can find that game. And yeah, thanks for watching. We went to MENYA, we walked around Shinjuku. Oh man, I'm very full. Had a great time. Thanks guys for being a part of the show. And you know, there's plenty more Tokyo stuff coming up in the coming 3 days. I don't really have a plan for like where I'm gonna go, but you can bet it's gonna be somewhere very cool because it's Tokyo, so definitely always a good time. So I'm gonna log into my thing and close it out. And I'll see after the show if my camera kept recording the whole time during the show, or if the stream is gonna have to be our only visual. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. Maybe not bye-bye? No, bye-bye. The computer didn't want to stop the stream. So now you're watching the post-show, ladies and gents, because you're seeing what was not on the live stream. Uh-oh. Oh, I accidentally started the stream again. I guess my computer is like lagging or something. Yeah, so now it's done. I closed the whole software. Good. So thanks to you, dear viewer, who's watching the YouTube upload. It looks like it did record, so you'll be able to see what I'm saying right now. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.